proceedings. Rahul Mathur, co-chair, Matrix Summit, and chair, Aerospace and Defense at TAI Bengaluru. Look forward to an enriching session as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. So let me start by giving you a little bit of background on VentuRISE. So this was an initiative by the government of Karnataka, where TAI was the partner. We spoke to about 10 to 12 companies in 3 segments. One was the aerospace defense segment, the other was the EV clean mobility, and the third was the ESDM segment. We got problem statements from companies, and based on that, we launched a challenge. We are happy to say that we got about 900 applications in total from all parts of India, and about 10% came from other parts of the world as well. On the aerospace and defense side, we had about 300 companies that applied for it. We went through an initial screening process, a secondary screening process, and then the final jury selection, out of which we had 3 winners, right? So I'm happy to have the creme de la creme of the aerospace and defense startups with me here today. So briefly, I'd like to first start off on your to introduce yourself. What's been your background? How did you get into being a startup? Yeah, so your initial journeys. Maybe we start with you, Abhijit. Yeah.
Thanks, Rahul. No, and thanks, VentuRISE. It was a really great event, and I can definitely vouch that a lot of work went through it. And then I was amazed all the volunteer work everybody was putting through. So thanks for that. So my personal journey, I guess I come from the other side, which is dirty side, if you will, oil and gas. I'm petroleum engineer by background. Studied in US, worked in US for almost 20 years, mostly in the energy space. Even did the fracking and drilling and all that, but then transitioned towards business development strategy for the Norwegian company called Equinor. And there I was also acting as a corporate VC for almost 7-8 years. So that's how my startup journey started, I guess. I was looking to quit the corporate life during COVID times, and was thinking if I should be doing another corporate role or should I be going out fundraising. What kind of role is next for me? And that's and then interestingly, none of that was being a co-founder of a company. But interestingly, my co-founder, who's in India, aerospace engineer Pramod, at that time actually he was only 20 years old, aerospace engineer from Hyderabad Engineering School. He reached out to me on LinkedIn, and he proposed me the idea of electric jet engine, electric propulsion system, and with the matchmaking happened on LinkedIn. So I immediately got attracted to it, and I said, this sounds interesting, why not, let's do it. And then my other co-founder from Norway, Ivar, him and I had worked together, so we all came together and started that. So it's been 4 interesting years of the journey.
We'll talk more about the journey. Varun, what about you? What brought you to start your own?
So first of all, let me go back to the previous session. So Mr. Dwarkanath has said, now it's a time for India to think about its own aircraft, right? Civil aircraft. And that's where we are heading to at Nautical Wings. We are pushing towards electric aviation. So let me go back how I started. So my journey started quite long back, somewhere around 2016 and 17. During my journey, I learned in the hard way, the aerospace sector and the defense sector. Initial 3 years, we got a very amazing project. When I was in college in 2016, we need to develop something that can be launched from submarines. Basically, underwater launchable UAV that is meant for Indian Navy. Amazing project, crazy tech project. Enthusiasm was very high. We cracked that thing within a year or so. Got a lot of incubation and a lot of awards. We got incubated at IIT Bombay for 1 year at Shine. And business incubation happened at IIM Ahmedabad and over here in Bangalore. So that was a very good, I would say, the experience for me personally as well as for my team as well. So by 2019, there was a pressure. So we need to commercialize the business, right? So that time we realized one thing was that in defense sector generally, if you have any hardware product that takes at least 5 to 6 years to get it commercialized or adopted by defense forces, a lot of certification testing is required, and we were developing drones back then. So, and one more thing was that anything that flies, propulsion is very critical. I mean, even if you ask anybody who is developing an aircraft, just ask them like, is the propulsion sorted? If propulsion is not sorted, they cannot even proceed ahead. So that is a criticality. Just like in your cars, tires, if you remove tires and engine, car is nothing. In aviation, propulsion is very much critical. It is day one you need to sort your propulsion. So one more thing was that during that time, a lot of other companies, everybody was kind of assembling the components of the UAVs, getting propulsion from overseas, motors, propellers, and then assembling and making a system. But your system cannot be great unless your component technology is great. You can't put Alto engine in your Ferrari, right? So that's the whole same thing goes into aviation sector. So by 2020, we thought what me personally and the nautical wing should do for next 10 to 15 years so that we can do something crazy in India. We thought let's work on the propulsion, let's crack that thing first out. So I just bought a very small prop sample over here with me.
We'll
We have
get to
a-
that. We'll get to the products.
yeah, I thought to bring it so that people get to understand
I
more.
think you also
Yeah.
have a stall outside. So
Yeah,
people
we have a
go-
stall as
go-
well.
Go see
So
that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's amazing, right? So we heard, like you rightly said, we heard before how difficult the aerospace industry is to get into. You know, you have high mix, low volume. You got a lot of requirement in terms of qualifying the product. It's not the cost of your product is not the manufacturing. You know, 2/3 of it typically comes from your testing, validation, etc. Right? And then you're looking at a sector where it's a new sector, never done. Globally, people are still innovating around this, right? And without an aerospace and defense, I would say, ecosystem in India, you pick up to do electric propulsion, right? How crazy are you both guys? And
I'll tell you how crazy are we. So I mean, I
and,
dropped.
and maybe just to add,
Yeah.
you can talk about the problem and the solution also along with that. Yeah.
Okay, so how crazy are we? I'll say that I started 2016, 17. It's for me, it's been somewhere around 8 years. So in this space, and initial days, I took loans from my friends. Basically, I dropped out in 2016, in 2017, in my second year. So I'm a total dropout. So I was just pursuing this aerospace in a hard way possible. So one thing was very clear personally with me when I did a bit of an analysis of complete aviation industry as a whole. If you look at global companies like Boeing, Airbus, or the engine-based companies Pratt and Whitney, Safran, or GE, look at their history. It's all about. It's not about you're looking at them right now. Just look at when they started, when they begin, why they begin. The question is why, right? So you'll get a bit of answers over there. So when they started in long back, so they have this almost 100 years of edge with them, refinement of engineering. And that trend now in 2020, when we were kind of switching towards changing companies whole product lineup, going rather than making a drones, going towards electric aviation, we thought, why does electric aviation make sense? That's the first question. So I mean, if you look at just the jet engine complexity of an engine, so if you are able to develop an all electric propulsion system, Sinor is doing the same way. We have a different strategy over there. We are working on motors plus with the prop. And now at this present time, the biggest question is that, suppose say if you want to travel 1,000 kilometer in a pure electric aircraft, is that possible? That is the main question, right? So now battery was something that was making it challenging, the energy storage system. Now you have energy density some around 300 all the way up to 500 kilowatt per kg energy density that might give you a 500 plus kilometer distance. Now one market makes sense, that is regional aviation. We're talking about, suppose say Bangalore to Chennai, Bangalore to Hyderabad, suppose say Bangalore to Hubli. That makes sense. And that is where nobody is profitable in the current business, because the aircraft cost, the MRO of the aircraft cost a lot. So I mean, when we started pursuing, we are very clear that it should make a business sense first, because we don't want to be end up like a R&D company if it doesn't make money. So commercial was making sense. We thought, let's take a bet. It's gonna be a long journey, and yeah, till now we have burned a lot of money and a lot of hard work by our team, and I can proudly say that the top 10 to 15 people in at Nautical Wings are built from scratch. That is the main thing. When they build from scratch, they have the confidence they can develop something really crazy.
Yeah, now the crazy part is, for me at least, I had no idea what propulsion meant when I started this. I had to ask, and during my venturing job, I was looking at a lot of applications for electrifying almost everything in US, right? So why not electrification of aviation? Why not propulsion? And of course, it's not that easy. Just saying why not is just one thing. But I understood from my co-founders that they have a design, they have an idea, and they can get it done. And of course, without the technical background, I relied on it. So I was crazy enough to say, okay, let's do it. I met my co-founder almost after 8 months of starting the company in person. So that's the crazy part. But after that, I realized, going through talking with them, and my love for travel was always there. So that's another thing that gets me attracted to aviation, I guess. I didn't want anybody to tell me you cannot travel. That's especially when people talk about emissions, global emissions, aviation is a big factor and all that. And I was also looking at the news that some countries in Europe are banning private jets because of emission footprint. So that's something, as a avid traveler, I don't like it. So why not have a solution, which is where the jet engine, electric jet engine came into picture for us. So we started with the value proposition, why not build an electric jet engine for private jets? And then the first application, when you say private jet, a lot of people actually push back that you're solving a problem only for rich people. Why not solve for other people? So we did pivot and we started looking at other potential applications. But the real problem was in propulsion system, at least jet engine wise. There's only 4 players. So oligopoly is there with GE's, Rolls-Royce, Pratt & Whitney, and Safran's. They, as the previous panel said, there's big backlog of 10-15 years. So they're all focused on meeting that rather than innovating something new. So there we saw an opportunity. We can do it. We right away went into, like you were saying, let's jump to proving the technology, not get stuck into R&D for too long. We managed to build our first prototype, tested it on ground, and we'll do the flight testing next. So we have achieved a lot of milestones within last 4 years, and then really amazed with the team that's growing within India, outside India, and all that. So that's a journey. We would like to solve the 2 problems. One is the emissions, of course, but jet engine wise, even China actually doesn't have jet engine, and the problem is not just the combustion chamber, but the metallurgy that goes with it. So when you go electrifying it, the temperatures reduce so much, the metallurgy becomes very simple. So we're calling it actually a cool revolution, because the temperatures are very, I mean, less than 400 degrees Celsius. So all we need is aluminum alloys and titanium, and we can decentralize manufacturing for jet engines almost everywhere. So.
So I think my takeaway is, behind the craziness and the passion, there needs to be a plan, right? And there needs to be an insight into, saying, knowing where is the overall market, where's the opportunity or the change, the quantum change that's happening, and what the industry existing people are looking at doing today or not doing, in more in your case, right? And picking your area and growing it, right? So yeah, so that was my takeaway, apart from the passion piece, right? So being in India, and I know you have one leg in India, one leg in Norway, right? What are the specific challenges that you face trying to build an electric propulsion out of India? What is that, and how have you looked at it and tried to address that?
Yeah, no, I think a couple challenges to list is, I think, the skilled folks who are really passionate about aviation industry. Of course, our co-founder and couple of initial people were, but then how do we grow from that? I mean, how do we attract more people? especially when you're a startup and you cannot afford to pay salaries and all. So that was one of the big challenge we went through. Fortunately, we have managed to build a team to almost 22 people now, still bootstrapped in a way, still not full salaries. So I'm really blessed in that sense that we were able to attract the talent and then retain it for such a long time. Now, of course, we have raised enough money. We started paying. That's one. Number two is the supply chain. Uh, since we are doing something new, and especially in the aviation, everybody always talks about safety, always talks about it's difficult. How can you do it? Only a few people are doing it, and just starts with the resistance. Actually, when our discussions was, how do we get over that hump first, and then try to tell them, okay, all we need is this. It's simple. It's not that difficult. Our design is very simple. But manufacturers, of course, want the volumes. So especially with 5-axis machines and precision manufacturing and all, we are still facing that problem. People are not ready to take the orders because we're still prototype 1 or 2 or 3 in a ways, but they will start taking orders from us once we start hundreds of engines and all. So that we are trying to solve it. One of the things we did was the first prototype that we built was fully 3D printed, and it's a smaller engine that can go on the UAVs. But of course now, for long term, for to sustain it long term, we have to go manufacturing, precision manufacturing. So we are building collaborations with large manufacturers within India, the big names, as well as the smaller manufacturers. So building relationships across India, it's be it Hyderabad, Bangalore, Coimbatore, Pune. So all that ecosystem is coming into play. And of course, when VentuRISE award was there, so our name was more out there, so we're getting more traction. So.
Same question to you. What are the challenges being in India and working out of India on electric?
I would say, yeah, there are challenges, but since I have been doing everything in India, so for me, doing a comparison with the overseas is a bit tricky. I can compare on some other aspect because recently we have been to Paris Air Show, as well as in UAE for our product demos and all. So the ecosystem I can touch upon on those regards. But in terms of just on the challenges side, just in India, I would say I was blessed to come in Bangalore. So Bangalore has a decent amount of manufacturing ecosystem. I would say even the precision manufacturing, it has Pune has a decent, means a lot of companies, they do a really great work. So I mean, I would say my challenge began in 2020 early on. So when we started doing a prototyping of these products, design is quite easy in aerospace, I would say. I mean, sometimes it is hard if you're making something complicated. But once you do the design, next, the biggest challenge is how do you make it? Because materials are totally different, processes are totally different, knowledge, know-how is totally different. So in 2020, the core team that I had, so I mean, it was all mechanical guys, means hardcore hardware engineers, very good in manufacturing, very good in machining, very good in prototyping, all those things. So that was a bunch of initial team. I was able to do that. So since our product is hardware, so one big challenge is that how do you convert those product in reality very fast in India? So that was initial challenge, but it took some time for us to explore the ecosystem all around India and all around Bangalore who can do these precision jobs initially, from tool development, from tool designing. So I would say one challenge, that tool design know-how is very less over here in terms of critical tooling. So that we had to learn by ourselves. That was a hard way of learning. One tool designed to machining used to cost us a lakh. Suppose say we did 10 or 20. Now imagine the initial burning we did, but that has given us a very critical know-how. That's a tooling knowledge. So those, I mean, in terms of tooling, those are the few things that you have also touched upon. And apart from that, coming to the talent side, yes, initially, I mean, getting the right set of talent and who has that vigor and the focus, that is a bit challenging. I mean, I learned the hard way. A lot of the guys, the total initial 10 to 12 folks or 15 folks in the company kind of grew with us, grew among us by failing, learning. Now they are sticking us together. So now, one very important thing is that giving everybody a long-term, vision and the focus, right? So I have always kept this very clear in our company, that why are we doing that? So we have launched a mission called Kartavya Path. It's a digital mission. Everybody's can join over there. We are putting your photo and your quotation, making India net zero by 2047. That's the mission. So in our company, all the folks, all the R&D folks, even the production guys are pumped up for that. So it is challenging to do execute all those things in the ground, but somehow we are able to do that with a great team. So I would say these the know-how of critical machining, tooling. These are initial challenges. Apart from that, the infrastructure comes the next, right? So now we are in the last 4 years. Currently, we are around more than 50 plus company, and we are producing these component in volumes. Now we are developing a bigger propellers that might go to ATR size. Those are like 3 to 4 meter propellers with somewhere around 800 to 900 kilowatt class propulsion unit. Next big challenge comes at do we have the facility and the ecosystem to test those systems? That's the next big challenge. Still, that is not being solved for us. We are looking, we are seeing how we can. So we have partnered with NEL as well for their electric Hansa, and let's see if that can be sorted out. Yeah.
Great, thanks. Probably the last question. I think taking off from the vision, right? What we heard. What's your company's vision, and also how did winning VentuRISE, help you?
Yeah, no, the main vision is, of course, electrifying aviation. Actually, our first IP, first patent was for supersonic jet engines. So we really aimed high, but of course, we're taking step by step now. Our first application is going to be in unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, which can be used for surveillance, cargos, and other things. Then we'll go to seaplanes or ground effect vehicles, which are in marine sector. And then, of course, the aircrafts and all will take time. We are fully aware of that. We acknowledge that it's not going to be an easy path, but all the learnings from small engines we can then apply for the large engines. In terms of VentuRISE, how it helped, I already mentioned a few times. The first thing is I definitely want to acknowledge the hard work that you guys put in there. 6 months, everything was very well organized. We were fully aware what's coming next as competitors, and then after winning, of course, a lot of PR happened, and many people across Bangalore, across Karnataka got to know about us, and then that helped actually to get some of the vendor connects, that helped get some of the business connects and all that. So definitely, and it's still ongoing. Now this challenge, and I was also happy that we won the Matrix Award yesterday. So things are good, being with the Thai and Bangalore and Matrix Association, VentuRISE, everything. So thank you.
Thanks. Same question.
Yeah, electrify global aviation, make India, leapfrog. So I would say it's a golden opportunity right now we have. Now, suppose say if Rolls-Royce, Pratt& and Whitney, those guys have 100 years of knowledge in developing the next jet engines for their aircrafts. Now we can't compete directly with them with those experience. What we can do is to even head start or a parallel start with them, right? Now in electric aviation, a lot of other companies are on the same plane. Even the Collins have invested somewhere around 60 million recently just on their 1 megawatt test facility. They're literally competitor to us. I'll say directly.
Yeah,
So
it's a plain ground field for us.
So-
Its starting point is good.
yeah. So the thing is that now on the tech, India is on the same plane. Let's do it now. And secondly, we don't have to build, suppose say, a jumbo jet immediately. It's all about building a smaller regional aircraft. Suppose say 9-seater, 10-seater, 19-seater, something like that. That we can literally took it off. And the greatest thing is that the money going back to Indian economy, aviation sector giving contribution back to Indian economy. That is the greatest thing that's going to happen, and the type of talent will going to emerge from this sector will going to create next generation companies in upcoming times. So yeah, our vision: electrify global aviation, make Bharat leapfrog. Yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to share an interesting bit. I spoke earlier about how when we launched this, initiative, it was about problem statements that current OEMs had that they wanted to partner with startups. Okay. And as we went through the competition, we realized we never expected guys like you to be there who would be looking at doing stuff on your own. And we went back to the government of Karnataka and told them, I think it'll be probably better for us to take away those problem statements and focus on who's innovating and who's going to make the next revolution in the aviation industry, right? So yeah, I mean, I think you guys are an inspiration to the industry to think big, have a clear plan, and uh, kind of executing on it as well. So fantastic, nice, good to have you guys on the panel, and thank you. Maybe one quick question, if somebody has. I know it's almost 1:50. Any questions? Well,
Well,
you can always visit is it?
I'll add one thing.
Yeah.
Free tickets as soon as first electric aircraft comes. Now I think question will come. Yeah. Now I'm waiting
Lots
for
of thumbs
question.
ups.
Whoever asks question.
You got to ask a question, is what he says. If you want a free, but you can meet them there outside. So yeah, thanks.
Super.
Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot. Yeah,
you.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.